Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Good morning, Carmela. Today is a very special day because today we will be celebrating the Seongwha ceremony of Carmela Lim. This ceremony will be conducted in the unificationist tradition of our Family Federation World Peace and Unification community. And in our community, we recognize that when someone passes on, they ascend. And this is not just the end of one life, but also the beginning of a new one. And so, while of course there is a place for grief and mourning and sadness, as there should be, there is also a place for gratitude, for joy, and for excitement even. Our dear sister Carmela is beginning a new journey, which will be very exciting for her, I'm sure. She has been anticipating it for quite some time. And we only get to do it once, don't we? So this is it. This is her special moment where she gets to graduate from this earthly life and begin her eternal life in the spirit world. So thank you everybody for making it here today. Some of us have traveled quite far, many hours, if not many days, to be here. So thank you for making the effort. I'm sure Carmela is also really grateful for your presence here today. And indeed, there are many others who wanted to be here, but could not be for whatever reason. And I know that Carmela is grateful for their intentions, for their hearts. And this event is being broadcast on YouTube. So for those folks who are joining us from wherever you are, we want to greet you on this morning as well. So we're going to begin with song. Carmela really liked singing, she loved music, and so we're going to sing a few songs and then we will continue with our Seongwha ceremony. So I invite you to rise. If for whatever reason you can't stand, that's perfectly fine, but I invite you to stand and we'll sing these songs together.
Praise love you more than any other, so much more than anything. You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. I want you more than gold or silver, only you can satisfy. You alone are the real joy giver and the apple of my eye. You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship thee. Your real life that once was sown within the garden's fertile soil, sprouting seed has now become the blossom of heavenly loveliness. Mother above, Lord of all, shower your blessing upon this holy day. Lord of love forevermore. Hallelujah. Glorious day of joy. Fairest flowers of the meadows, tender buds of perfect form, thou receive the gift of life, and dance in the joy of eternal spring. Heavenly hosts, men on earth, join us in praising this day. Bless us to share love's communion faithfully. Hallelujah. Glorious day of joy. Hushed we stand in awe before you, ready now to give our pledge to attend and serve completely with an unchanging eternal love. Glorious King, mighty God, filled with your blessed grace, this dearest one, holy
remain standing and join me in a word of prayer. Dear God, our loving heavenly parent, true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, we're so grateful and privileged to be here this morning to attend this Seongwha ceremony for Carmela Lim. Your precious daughter is returning home to you now. She has lived a full life full of many adventures and experiences, and she's taking with her home all the love that she could cultivate in her heart. We who are here today were privileged to know her, to be touched by her in some way. And we want to celebrate the life that she lived, which we offer to you now. Today we're going to tell stories with one another. We're going to hear about the ways in which Carmela left an impression, left a legacy here in this earthly plane. But we know, Heavenly Parent, that this temporal world, the bodies in which we live, these are only temporary, briefly housing the eternal spirits, who we really are, which will return to you one day. Our souls are connected to one another in a profound way, and to you. And so today we want to let Carmela's spirit move on and to say farewell. So Carmela, thank you. Thank you for touching us. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for giving us so many experiences, teaching us about heaven's ways through your words and deeds. We want this to be a special occasion for you as you return to the warm embrace of our Heavenly Parent. On behalf of everyone here today, I want to pray. In attending the Holy Mother Han, I pray with gratitude in my name, Matthew Hewish, of a blessed family. Adieu. Please take a seat. So I'd like to deliver a couple of readings before sharing a reflection. The first reading that I want to share with you comes from St. Paul's second letter to the Corinthians, from chapter 4, verse 16 to chapter 5, verse 10. Therefore we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. For we know that if the earthly tent we live in is destroyed, we have a building from God, an eternal house in heaven, not built by human hands. Meanwhile, we groan, longing to be clothed instead with our heavenly dwelling, because when we are clothed, we will not be found naked. For while we are in this tent, we groan and are burdened, because we do not wish to be unclothed, but to be clothed instead with our heavenly dwelling, so that what is mortal may be swallowed up by life. Now, the one who has fashioned for us this very purpose is God, who has given us the Spirit as a deposit, guaranteeing what is to come. Therefore, we are always confident and know that as long as we are at home in the body, we are away from the Lord. We live by faith, not by sight. We are confident, I say, and would prefer to be away from the body and at home with the Lord. So we make it our goal to please him, whether we're at home in the body or away from it. We must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ so that each of us may receive what is due for us, the things done while in the body, whether good or bad. Second reading is the words of Father Moon from the 9th of March 1991. We were born as an eternal life, and therefore go to the spirit world after death. Life there will be on a totally different dimension. In this limited world, we cannot move freely, but the other world is a higher dimensional place where we can do anything. You can jump beyond time. With true love, whatever you desire, you will receive, anytime, anywhere. The spirit world is boundless. We are created as eternal beings. Each of us is that way because we are the object partners of the eternal God, participating in his true love. If we become such object partners of true love, then when we go to the spirit world, we will be completely free. However, to realize this, you must be trained in true love here on earth. You're not ready. Without fulfilling your responsibility to prepare yourselves well, you cannot go to the realm of freedom in the spirit world. But once you perfect true love on the earth, you can go there anytime. About 2.5 years ago, I was flying home from Korea. I was attending one of the big events there. And I had quite a long journey. I had a layover in Bangkok. So I think it was a 4-hour flight from Seoul to Bangkok, and a few hours waiting there, and then a 12-hour flight from Bangkok back to London. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like talking to people who are sitting next to me on an aeroplane. I'm quite an introvert, quite shy. So if the person sitting next to me starts a conversation, there's a part of me which is hoping that the conversation will end quite quickly and I can disappear into a movie or into some music or just close my eyes and go to sleep and not have to worry about having a long conversation. But the person sitting next to me on this particular long flight from Bangkok, her name was Nikki, and we started saying a few things, and I'm confident we spent about 10 hours talking. Most of the flight. It was quite unexpected, but I really enjoyed it. And one of the reasons why I enjoyed this talk with Nikki was because she runs a very interesting business. She gets in touch with pregnant mothers, and she provides a service where immediately after the birth of the baby, she will collect the placenta and she will create little food capsules out of the placenta so that the mother who gave birth to the baby can eat these placenta capsules and gain the nourishment and the nutrition from the placenta in order to pass it on to her newborn baby. I was fascinated by this idea. And if any of you are interested in this, maybe you're pregnant or you know someone who's pregnant, I can pass on her contact details if you're interested in eating the placenta. Now, of course, this is not a new thing. In many cultures around the world, there are communities where the placenta is seen as a nourishing thing. But think about it, the placenta actually belongs to the baby. It's the same DNA as the baby. The baby and the placenta grew together at the same time within the uterus. So when the fertilized embryo implants itself into the uterine lining, what forms there is all part of the baby. And it seems an awful shame when the baby is born to separate it from its placenta. That's all it's known for its entire life. That placenta nourished it, nurtured it, gave it everything it needed. And then when it's born, it says goodbye. And it never sees that umbilical cord or placenta ever again. Do any of you have a box at home which contains your placenta? I don't think so. And there might be something to be said for the argument that we should collect the stem cells from the umbilical cord and maybe save them for future research. I don't know. That's not what I'm talking about today. The point that I want to make is that when the birth takes place, we don't throw away the baby and keep the placenta. We, in a sense, throw away the placenta and keep the baby. The baby is the thing that the placenta has been preparing for. And we all have a lovely souvenir of our placenta, don't we? It's called a belly button. Yeah, I invite you to if your shirt allows you to, give your belly button a rub. Let your finger feel that belly button, that hole which represented the point of contact you had with the placenta, which connected you to your mother, who at that time was your universe. Everything you experienced was through the lens of that mother. Now, I think many of you can figure out where I'm going here with this. Yeah? Our physical bodies are something which we will ultimately discard. Now, we're very attached to them during our earthly life, and rightly so, because our terrestrial bodies are the vehicle through which we grow, through which our eternal souls are able to learn how to love and experience many wonderful things. We need it. Just like the baby needs the placenta, we need our physical bodies, and so it's important that we take care of it. We take care of our physical bodies so that they can last for as long as possible to prepare us for the next stage of life. But ultimately, one day, the time comes for a new birth. Yeah? When our dear sister Carmela breathed her last in this world, that was her new birthday, a day of glory and celebration when she graduates into the new eternal spirit world. Of course, it's a time of sadness. Yeah? It's appropriate to mourn and grieve. We will miss her, those of us who are still here. And I'm sure she will also miss us, hanging out with us, doing things with us, making us do the most impossible things because she made us do it. But we were happy to do so. And she's leaving behind this physical body, which, of course, we're grateful to it. She's grateful to it. But we're going to place it in the ground, and just like the mother who eats those placenta capsules, she might be nourished by this earth. The earth in which the body is buried will be nourished by that body. The elements will be recycled. They will be reused. But the baby is now beginning its new life. That's a very exciting thought for Carmela. I'm sure she's incredibly excited. I'm sure she's very happy about the fact that she no longer has to be wheeled around. She can move and go wherever she wants, as fast as she wants. She's very excited about that, I'm sure. So bearing that in mind, what we can hopefully take away from this experience is that we are still blessed with our physical bodies, which house our spirits. Let's take care of this time that we have and prepare ourselves for when we finally return home. We can be reunited with Carmela, who herself is being reunited with her beloved Victor and reunited with Father Moon in the spirit world and all of her ancestors and other people whom she loves dearly. She's reunited with them now in the same way that we all will also be reunited sometime in the future. At this point of the Seongwha ceremony, I wanted to experience a hula, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. So my apologies for that. However, we will be entertained. I believe Lucy has prepared a song, so I will invite you up.
Aloha, everyone. So my name is Lucy, and I'm part of this beautiful Acohido family because I was blessed to marry Matthew Lynch. And through him and the experience of living in Hawaii for the last 15 years, I was blessed with Auntie Carol's presence many, many times, and I admired her for so many things. She, with all that she had lived through and what she was carrying, with traveling miles and miles in her wheelchair, coming to Hawaii, to our wedding, to different celebrations, she had always that spark of joy within her, and she always had a good word and a good laugh and a good squeeze for everyone, and she blessed me many times, and she always got a song out of me. Wherever we were, I remember one time she came and she was like, Lucy, don't you do these crystal singing bowls? Can we do a sound session? So all the aunties came together at a house, and there was me with my crystal bowls, and everybody passed out and was sleeping, including Auntie Carol in her wheelchair. And so today, I'm just gonna sing a little song for her to, blow some wind beneath her wings, the light. Early morning, sun is rising. Birds are singing a song about a new life. Fairies dancing in the trees. They ride around the world on bumblebees. And the light is fading in these days. The light is fading in. And the light that we carry inside, it ain't never gonna die. And the light that we carry ain't never gonna die. Sometimes it seems so dark, sometimes we cannot see the light. We cannot see our hands in front of these beautiful eyes of ours. But then we remember to surrender. Then we remember to look up. And the light is fading in these days. The light is coming back. And the light is fading in these days. And the light is coming back. And the light that you carry inside, it ain't never gonna die. And the light that you carry deep inside, it ain't never ever gonna die. So fly, 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 fly. This is the beginning, not goodbye. So fly, 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 fly. Let the sun shine in, let the sun shine in. This is not the end, this is your beginning.
Thank you so much, Lucy. That was incredible. Beautiful song, very relevant. Now to read the eulogy, I would like to invite Mr. Philip with us.
Good morning, brothers and sisters, family. These wonderful words were written by Unhei. We are gathered today to celebrate the wonderful life of Carmela Acohido Lim. Carmela was born on the beautiful island of Oahu in Hawaii, in the city of Wahiwa, on December the 24th, 1945, as the sixth child and the first daughter of Vince and Carmela Acohido. She always used to tell me that she was a tomboy. This was always our little times together and bringing her out. She would want to fight, or not fight, but to challenge her brothers and sisters. She had 5. And she became actually quite a tomboy. So her mother had the idea of better get her a sister. So Carmela says that her mum gets on her knees for years and years, and suddenly, lo and behold, she gets a beautiful sister after 5 years of prayer, and Carmela is totally in love with her sister. She had 5 brothers who were all in the forces. They were all very, very hard-working men and wonderful boys. She had a happy childhood, and her loving parents, with her loving parents and brothers and sisters. She attended San Francisco State University on the mainland from 1968. She met our movement through some members on the street in Frisco. Listen to me, as if I've been there once in San Francisco State. It was while she was studying that she met some of our members, and after attending a few lectures, she found answers to many questions that she had had about life and purpose, and many questions were answered. She also found a community where she could make a difference, and this was where she began her missionary path. So from 1968, when she met our movement, she participated in all the big events that were taking place throughout the United States, and everybody knows what happened in those days. And she never stopped. She never stopped. She also found a community where she could make a difference, and this was where she began her missionary path. Carmela spent the next several years traveling from country to country. She was sent to South America, where she served in Argentina and Peru. In 1982, she married the wonderful and great, beautiful brother, that's my little words here, not Carmela, Victor, at Madison Square Gardens in New York. And he joined her in Peru soon after. Victor learned to speak Spanish so quickly, he was like a computer. It was in Peru that Carmela and Victor were blessed with the arrival of their wonderful and beautiful, talented... She didn't write that. I wrote that. Noelia Unhei in November 1990 with the help of Danny and Sylvia Landreth. The family of three continued their works as missionaries during Eunhae's early childhood years in countries such as Russia, China, and later in the Comoros Islands. You know, when I was sitting, as we often did, with Carmela, she told me the crazy stories that they went through traveling out of, you know, they were like in the boondocks in Russia, like 10,000 miles away. And then they had to go into the boondocks of China to get there, to renew their visas. And it would take days in these ruggedy old, because back then it was the Soviet Union, and it was days and days on these, and they would have these blankets given them, but then they would get their visas and come back, and then when they got home, they would have fleas all over their bodies. And they were taking them off Eunhae and getting them off themselves. But she always liked that. That was the kind of, pioneer spirit that she had. That wasn't a thing of difficulty for her. In 1997, the family Lim settled in the UK and joined the Bromley Church community. It was during this time that Carmela's health deteriorated. She was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, a life-limiting condition. But she did not let that stop her from living a life of helping others in any way that she could, even teaching the hula to her friends and guests. She had a big heart and had a lot of love and warmth to give. When Victor passed away in November 2011, Carmela carried her loss with a lot of grace. In the years that followed, she would often speak to him and keep his photograph right by her bed. If you're walking with her, she'll see a butterfly and she'll say, "That's my mum. When I see that colour, butterfly, that's my mum. When I see that colour, that's..." I know, yes, she knew he was always with her. In the final years of her life, Carmela was largely confined to bed due to her condition, yet her sparkle and her spirit never ever faded. She was cared for by a wonderful team of carers whose support meant so much to Eunhae. Carmela always saw the good in everyone she met, and her faith in Heavenly Parent guided her throughout her life. In all the years that I was with her, I never heard her ever complain about how difficult it was for her. And, we're talking, she would say to me, "Philip, can you get that?" And I'd say, "Where is it?" She'd say, there. This is there. Where? There. I mean, she had no way of pointing or anything like that, but she never, ever complained. And she always was grateful. She would always be drinking coffee or looking out at the ducks and she would say, "Yeah, I have to be more grateful because there are so many more people in a worse off condition." And I used to think, I don't think so. you're in quite a bad way, old girl. But she never complained, and she never, ever, ever, ever said a bad word about anybody. Never. So when Eunhye says so beautifully, she always saw the good in everyone she met. That is like the essence of Carmela Lim.
Yes.
She never ever felt any animosity. For example, can I give you a quick example? Is that all right? Have I got time now? Yeah? It's just that just before she passed away, she organized this birthday party for all of us who had birthdays coming up. And anyway, so she... this is a typical thing that happens. She phones me up. Can you get me this, and this? Okay. Yeah. So, and then she phones me up because she wants me to buy these special cream little things that are full of cream. They're like somebody told me their name. They're like the eclairs, but with cream inside, but they're round. Yeah. What are they called?
Profiterole.
That one. So she phones me up. Yes, I've got them, Carmela. So she's always pushing me to get it. And then she had these beautiful 3 glasses of beautiful bottles of special essence for Japanese food, and she was going to give these to the national leader. She had everything planned that she wanted to do. So we get there early, and I'm opening up these things. And as I opened them up, they all fell out on the floor. All of them. So I started picking them up. She goes, "You can't put them on the plate." I said, so she said, anyway, she didn't blink an eye. She wasn't angry, not at all. Those beautiful barbecue sauces in a beautiful wrap bag looked beautiful for the national leader and his Japanese wife smashed that day. Never said a word. Wasn't upset at all. And that was her, She never would have such a bad word to say about anything. So when you're with her like that, and when you're me, you have to feel something like, like Homer Simpson. Had so many failings. I complain, I moan at people, but she was like my mirror. So I'm so grateful that she showed me how much I have to grow. Bless her. Bless her. Carmela was a much beloved mother, sister, auntie, wife, and friend. She had a wonderful sense of humor and a stubbornness, so true, a stubbornness that saw her through her ups and downs. She was an easy person to love, and she loved with a deep devotion in return. So thank you, Carmela, for being with us and for sharing your heart. We will miss you.
At this stage of the program, I want to invite a number of individuals to share some personal tributes. So I believe Inge, where is Inge? Okay, so I'm going to invite Inge first, and then after Inge, I'll invite Chu. Then I'll invite Betty. Where's Betty? There she is. Okay, and then after Betty, we'll have Matt. So please, Inge.
didn't expect it. I hope the messages would go so long that I would forget my name. And I'm not dressed in white. Sorry. Because Carmela likes colors. I personally believe that God put a very special ingredient in Carmela's soul, which I never got. I looked up her word, what the name means, Carmela. You wouldn't believe it. In Hebrew, it means vineyard of God. It couldn't be any better, couldn't it? And in the Greek culture, it means elegance, abundance, and religious devotion. Carmela, amazing. I spent 3 years with Carmela, living and working for 3 years in Peru as missionaries. I came from Venezuela. I fell in love with Peru immediately. It's a very special country. Her leadership was very, very rare. I met many leaders, but her leadership gained us many members. She had lots of wisdom. She never complained, as you all know. Never judgmental, warm, serving, embracing. And that's what Peru needed. She was full of confidence, giving others a lot of confidence. She was given positivity. She given positive advice to members. I tell you, it wasn't always easy with members growing. She done that the same to non-members. But what I admired most, because I wasn't an original missionary, she understood so deeply what God and true parents expected of us in that country. That was amazing, that she had such a high standard. Do you know what people called her in Peru, and still do actually? An angel from a different world. I heard that over and over by members and non-members. We established a kindergarten there, and often, because it was a poor area, they couldn't pay for their kids. They missed a month's pay, and Carmela would go, "It's okay." But the brother who was responsible for the finances would say, "No, it's not okay." She would borrow money to many people, actually, which left us sometimes without any food. Sorry, Carmela. I just want to mention one. We had many projects. About one project, because we had lots of earthquakes in Peru, and we noticed that many people don't even know how to keep them safe during the earthquake. So she organized a huge big hall and got some professors together, and we handed out leaflets to the public, and they came, and professors told very clearly how to keep safe during earthquakes. So Carmela took really care of its country as well, of Peru. What worried us most about Carmela was she'd done so many 21-day fasts, 7-day fasts. We really argued a lot about that. But she said, Peru needs that. And in hindsight, do you know, we had 50 years anniversary on the 30th of November, just 2 months ago, 50 years. And besides Brazil, Peru has the most members, over 1,000. And that condition that Carmela laid has definitely something to do with that. And there are, in this anniversary I watched on Zoom, everybody honored and praised Carmela, even after 50 years. I was very touched there. Yes. Carmela always wanted to know how everybody else is doing, always. I was so privileged that she once in these 3 years would actually open her heart and tell me what she was feeling. That was special. My last thing. Believe me, we were not always united. I remember one. I had such a strong argument with Carmela. I was really angry. It wouldn't stop. You know, she's stubborn, so am I. And we would argue. And just when I stormed off, because I had enough, she said, Inga, you need to know I love you. Of course, she disarmed me, didn't she? That's how you win wars. Honestly, that's how you win wars. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I was called to the United States, working for the newspaper, which I tried to escape 3 times, but I wanted to go back to Peru, but I wasn't allowed. So, hermana Carmela, con todos nuestros hermanos y hermanas del Perú, feliz viaje al mundo espiritual. Vaya con Dios. Achoo.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I would like to share a few of my thoughts with Carmela. I only knew her the last 20 years of her life. All the past, we shared in conversations and things like that. But I got to know Carmela through her husband, Victor Lim, who is also Malaysian. That's how we connected. In 2005, I was here and I was living with a few Malaysian sisters, and Carmela knew that I was looking for accommodation at a certain point. And she very warmly invited me to live with her. At that time, her husband, Victor, and her daughter, Eunhae, were both in Korea. Victor was with the IPC and Eunhae was studying there. So she was alone. So she said, oh, come live with me. I have plenty of room, And that was how she was. She was always welcoming people to her house. She loves a house full of people. She didn't like to be alone. And that was how I started to get to know her. At that time, she was still mobile, independent, even though she was a bit slow in her movements. But, all the time that I lived with her. Sorry. She was almost never home. Yeah, she was always out and about, doing lots of things, visiting people, fundraising, always cheerful. And many times she invited me also to do some fundraising with her, and we used to travel on the public transport to villages far away. And even though we didn't make much money, she was always cheerful and always hopeful that the next one will be better. That was how she was. I left in 2006 when Eunhae came back from Korea. And from then until Victor's passing in 2011, I visited the family often, on and off. Whenever she had parties going on, you know how she is. She's always, eager to meet brothers and sisters. She always organized gatherings at her house, those people who live around her. And as I can't remember, Bernard or Philip mentioned, we even had the lottery club, She was so much into this. She was somebody who always believed in miracles. Yeah. she always said, don't worry, a miracle will happen. I said, how will we accomplish this? She says, don't worry, miracles will happen. So we believe in her miracles. Yeah. So we continue with the lottery for a long time. Yeah. Unfortunately, she had to leave before this miracle happened. Yeah. And so when Victor passed in 2011, I came over to help her with the funeral arrangements. Of course, it was done by the other brothers here, but morally. So from then on, we got to know each other deeper. And because, in many ways, she depended on me to do certain things for her, because we got to know each other pretty well. Many times I would sit in the room with her, and we would share all her memories of the past, and and comfort each other and support each other. But I remember so many times when we all know about her physical conditions. So she was always eager to find solutions to her problem, to her rheumatoid arthritis. She didn't believe in conventional medicine, so she was always looking for alternatives. So she would be going for spiritual healing, meditation, chanting, whatever, people recommended to her. She was this kind of person. And if anything benefited her and she felt relief or, it helped her, she was always very eager to share it with others. She would text me or send me this and send me that and show me her books and things like that. Medical medium and all kinds of things, she would put forward to me. And because I'm not in the grade of health either. But that was how she was. She was always eager to help others, eager to share, always. And, about her seminars with Beatrice Gonzalez from America, with Philip Hill. She invited Philip to do oral readings and all kinds of things in her living room. And I remember, I was so grateful to her. A few times she organized this meeting with Beatrice, and I wanted to attend, but I couldn't afford financially. So I just gave up on the idea, and I said to her, don't worry, I'll do it next time, don't worry. But she never gave up. Finally she arranged that I could cook for the workshop for one day and attend the other day free. Yeah. So that was how she, how much she cared. She didn't just give up. Okay, she cannot attend. Okay, that's it. Yeah. But she looked for ways, every which way, but how to help me. Get what she thinks is good for me. And as some people mentioned, she can be quite bossy. And many times I had arguments with her as well. I said, I'm not 16 years old, you're organizing my life as you see fit, I want to have a say in what I do, She said, no, you have to contact Philip, get a ride from him, go here, go there. I said, I can organize all that. You don't have to tell me to do this, But for her, it was important. She needed to know that everybody was doing all right, according to how she sees things. So she drove me up the wall many, many times, I tell you. But she's somebody you can forgive and you can let go because she cared. She's not doing it, just to get you up the wall, but that's her way of doing things, yeah. So many times, I was grateful to her that she pushed me to do some of the things that I would have not done if not for her, yeah. Also, it was very difficult for me because when I knew her in 2005, she was fit and able, a little slow, but she was pottering out of the house, cleaning and doing everything. But in the later years, her health got worse and worse. And finally, she became bedridden. I could see the frustration in her because she was always wanting to do something. Even when she was bedridden, she was still organizing things on the phone, always calling somebody, always trying to get, things done, even on the phone. So it was not easy for me to visit and to see her deteriorating like this. But, she just refused medication and just depend on the, on the food, medication, chanting, any way, she knew how to relieve the pain. She had a lot of pain in her knees. Many times she couldn't bend her knees in the morning. I was her personal assistant for 3.5 years. I took care of her, of everything. So she became very dependent on my help. And because, in the end, we became like family. She took care of me like an elder sister, meddling in everything that I do. But I knew her heart, so we just let it go, Many times when, I shared with her about child caring. She has only one daughter, I have 3 children. So we shared many things. I told her a few things. Carmela, don't do this. Carmela, from my experience, avoid, making this kind of mistakes. And we were very open with each other. And if we hurt each other, she was always ready to say sorry. She was that humble, she can say sorry. So in the end, we became very open. Even if we had an argument or whatever, we could apologize to each other and really embrace each other. Many times, in her last days, when she had a room in the middle, I was in the corridor, Unhe was in front. Each time we passed by her room, she would call out, Unhe, choo, choo. To some point, we were scared of passing by her corridor. Sorry to say the Carmela, but that was how it was. Because in the middle of the night, 11, 12 o'clock, I would go to the toilet and then she'll be there. Choo, choo, can you just close the window, open the window, put the blanket, And poor thing, she has something to do with body temperature, She's hot all the time. Yeah. She always feels very hot, so she would throw off all her covers. But with the window open, she was frail, so her health wasn't benefiting from all her throwing the covers and things like that. Anyway, I had some really good memories because she cared very much about each and every one. I think I've never celebrated so much birthdays as with her. She had birthday celebration for everybody, and on my birthday, she always made sure I had my cake, and she would order takeaway, always, on Unhe's birthday, her birthday, we always had takeaways on birthdays. So, that was how much she cared, Often I come back late from work and she would ask me, have you eaten? Have you eaten? I said, of course, it's 8:30 in the evening, Many times I came from Poland, and I always arrived quite late, 9, 10 o'clock. And sometimes she would have gotten a takeaway and put it aside for me when I come, So that was how she was, yeah. Mm. And yeah, I will miss her, yeah. And I mean, now I walk into the house, I always see her sitting on her bed. And it's kind of a strange feeling, to walk into the house and she's not there anymore. And but we had good memories. And I'm sure, she was always very concerned for Eunhae, yeah, that when she's gone, Eunhae will be alone. But I just want to reassure her that Eunhae is not alone, yeah. She has many loving aunts and aunties and, uncles and friends who is always, surrounding her, giving her support as much as they can. So Carmela, Eunhae is not alone, don't worry. And I have been with the family for a long time, so Eunhae is part of family to me, yeah. She's the age of my daughters, So I just want to reassure Carmela that, she doesn't need to worry. I'll be there to support Carmela as much, by helping to take care of her daughter as much as I can. Yeah, and I thank Carmela for all the patience that she has with me. Yeah, she was not an easy person to live with, but neither am I. Yeah, but I'm sure, she will forgive me for all my impatience with her because she has a beautiful and loving heart. And yeah. Yes, she was always very embracing and smiling and really caring. Yeah, that's one thing, despite all our differences, we love each other and we really took care as much as we could for each other. So thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos días también en el mundo de habla hispana. Yeah, as always, Carmela always, no matter where we are, always she was talking to me in Spanish. Buenos días, señora Carmela. And yeah, no matter if it's a special event or never, always she was answering me. I tried to talk in English, but always she was responding in Spanish, and then I give up, and then that means, I'm gonna talk in Spanish with, I'm deep, I don't know how to say that my deepest appreciation of, to having a mother like Carmela, actually like Inga say, yeah, so in my country, members, we calling this from another planet, it's an angel. And then it always for us represented like a Mother Teresa. And even nowadays, she still was getting in touch with all the professionals, was working in a school. She established a school in Peru. And then even nowadays, still she was contact. Still she, sometimes when she cannot use her phone, she asking me, Betty, can you contact with her? Yeah. And then I am so glad feeling that blessing to having a person really helping me and somehow to be strong, even as in a period of time recently I facing legal stuff, and then even, she said me, don't worry, Betty, we need to love, remind me how I need to be really strong, because even she was, is the person showing, even she was in bed or unable to use her fingers or, but still she was empowered really all the time, encouraging me to do, and nothing is impossible. If it's not, we can invent it. Even I remember the last time when somebody visiting us from Peru, and then I say, Chu, are you sleeping well? No, I was working until midnight because she wanted to make a perfection things for for everything. And that was, as well, for everything must be perfect and doing in time and in a patient, having that commitment is not just because we are religious as well in all the levels possible. So I'm gonna say I really appreciate it and thank you so much. And again, in the name of all my brothers and sisters from Peru and for other countries as well. Even in the last time I was in contact with the carers, and she was really, really much in that deep relation with them. And then last night, actually, one of the carers was contacting me and say, please, Betty, can you give me the address? Probably I'm gonna come, but if she is not managing to come, we love, and then, even carers and everybody, really, she has that power to embrace to everybody. Una vez más, voy a decir en español, gracias, señora Carmela, por darnos esta oportunidad para conocer a padres verdaderos, donde nos ha enseñado cuál es la devoción y cómo debemos seguir. Y no es el fin, es el comienzo donde vamos a continuar a hacer la misión. So this is not the last. Now is the start of flourishing the seed she planting. Thank you so much.
Aloha. My name is Matthew, and I am the eldest son of the youngest daughter of Carmela Sr., Grandma Acohido, who's in the program picture. And I currently live in Germany with the lovely Lady Lynch, Lucy Lynch, that you heard from earlier. And so being the closest here, I'm here on behalf of the entire Acohido family to do my best to represent. And I'm also a bit cold, so bear with me. Yeah, I remember the day. I have two stories to share. One on behalf of our generation of the cousins, and one that Uncle Ernie, who's the last living Acohido brother, who's also the handsomest, has written with detailed stage notes of how I'm supposed to deliver this. And so that will be the last story that I'll share. And first I'll start with a story sort of on behalf of the cousins. This time last year, we were very fortunate to be able to bring my mom, Selena. She's the youngest daughter that, I hadn't heard that story. I didn't know that she was praying for my mom to come for so long, and thank God she did, or we wouldn't be here. And so we were able to bring Mom and Uncle Ernie to Kent, to Orpington, to visit and spend time with Auntie Carol. And Mom was not sure if she's up for the journey. That was the first time Uncle Ernie, he had to get a passport. It was a very long trip for them. And I said, Mom, look, this might be the last time you see her, so let's make it happen. And we're so grateful that we were able to do it. And we got together with many adventures in that short week or however long it was. And it was just like we were back. I remember the day of that photo that was taken, and I had the same feeling. There's just so much warmth and love and laughter and sharing of all the crazy Acohido stories, singing of songs that Grandma used to sing to us. and it was so beautiful to see the Acohido siblings just enjoy. And so one of the many things I learned from Mom, but also, I guess, from the stories I'm hearing today, this is an Acohido thing. We love to cook and to feed. That's our love language. And so I have managed to remember Grandma's chicken kalamungai soup recipe. And I found a little African store in Orpington that has the kalamungai leaves. And so I cooked this for the family. I've never seen such big smiles. It was a really simple but beautiful memory. Yeah, and so the story to share on behalf of the cousins goes back to a few years after that photo was taken in the program. I found myself living at Walker Avenue at Waihoa with Auntie Carol and a very precocious, vibrant, loud young Unhei, dear cousin Unhei. And Walker Avenue house is now in our family for 5 generations? Yeah. And it was built by Ben, the eldest Acohido brother, who's 20 years my mom's elder. So basically, he raised Mom. And there was a little house, the back house that they built that many of us have lived in. And so when my turn was to share it with Unhei and Auntie Carol, and I think dear cousin Honani was also living in that. And mind you, it's 2-bedroom or 3, tiny little house. And at this point, Auntie Carol was, we just knew she was doing missionary work and doing amazing things, always making magic happen. She had this just absolutely stubborn belief in magic and that things were going to work out, and this absolutely unyielding belief in the good of people. And so one day, the 52 bus is a bus that stops in Wahiawa, which is right in the middle of Oahu, the quote-unquote main island where the capital city is. And the 52 bus stops there, and it literally goes Circle Island. And that, on a good day, you can circumnavigate the island in an hour if you don't have traffic, and you do it at 1 a.m. The bus stops, every so often, and probably a 5 or 6 hour journey. And so Auntie and Unhei had caught the bus somewhere, and had come home, walked home to Walker Avenue, and Auntie realized, I think I left my wallet on the bus. And the cousins were hanging, we were doing whatever, eating lunch or something. Do you think that maybe someone might have turned it in? And no, Auntie, it's just, no, I'm sorry, that's not gonna happen. We didn't think much of it. And lo and behold, 5 or 6 hours later, we're back again. Eating dinner, or as memory serves me, we were watching a scary movie or something. And then Auntie comes up the stairs. She doesn't walk up the stairs, she ascends the steps. Floats up. And we're right in this really tense part of the movie. And she says, guess what? We're like, what? This is the best part of the movie. So I found my wallet. And then our jaws just dropped. And we were like, the record scratch. And we're like, ooh, what? And apparently, in the time, she had gone and prayed on it. And in the time it had taken for that same bus to drive all the way around the island and the same driver to come in, she timed walking back to the bus stop perfectly so that the exact same bus with the exact same driver was there. The door opened. Well, are you going to get on? And of course, she was like, did anybody hand in my wallet? Well, of course they did. And that story just sort of illustrates so much about Auntie. She was always this miracle worker blowing in on the breeze, coming to be at whatever it was, a wedding or funeral or whatever family gathering that we had. And there's such a powerful lesson, I think, for all of us in that stubborn, unyielding belief in the good of people and in the magic of our world. So that's the story I offer on behalf of our generation and our cousins. And now I want you to, for a moment, imagine that I have a full head of white hair. And I am, if it's possible, even more handsome. All the Acohido eyebrows, all of the yes. And now I'm going to be the vessel for Uncle Ernie. So, hi everyone. My name is Ernie, older brother of Carmela, or Carol, as we called her. I live in Waipahu, Hawaii, which is roughly 7,400 miles to Orpington, UK, or it's about 11,900 kilometers. How do I know this, you might ask? Pause. I inquired at the University of Google. Just go on if nobody laughs. Carol was one of my angels sent into my life. Once when I was a 16-year-old teenager, I had an old jalopy. Jalopy that I tinkered with. Jalopy, as referred to here in the UK, is, quote, an old rust bucket, an old banger, or a rattle trap, unquote. Maybe someone here can explain why it's called a rattle trap. Huh. Philip. Slight pause. Look for Philip and smile. Anyway, I had my jalopy up on a bumper jack when I worked underneath on the front axle. Suddenly, the jalopy, clear my throat, the rattle trap, started to move as the bumper jack slowly slipped away. Soon the front axle of the car, an old 1948 American Ford hatchback, landed on my cheek as I turned my head to the side. The Ford rattle trap had pinned me down. There you go, a rattle trap had me trapped down. I wasn't hurt, but I could crawl out from underneath. I wasn't hurt, but I couldn't crawl out from underneath the rattle trap. I was trapped. I called out to my younger 13-year-old sister Carol to help me out of this predicament. So she came out from our home like an angel in need and calmly raised my rust bucket off my face with little instructions from me. I truly believe she had angel abilities at 13 years old to come to my aid and set me free from my trap, especially before any parent had come home from work. So to you, Carol, my angel, rest in peace now, and you will always forever be in our hearts. Love you, Brother Ernie and Sister Selena.
Thank you, everyone who shared tribute. They were all so unique and a very helpful window into understanding who our sister Carmela is. And all of those stories, really good to hear. At this point in the program, we're going to have a flower ceremony. And now, for a number of reasons, we only have a limited number of flowers, and so I'm going to invite the front 2 rows, maybe, to participate in the flower ceremony. I believe somebody will come, and you will receive a flower, and you can come to the front, one by one. You can offer a little bow to Carmela, place the flower on the altar at the front, and then return to your seat afterwards. And those of us who are remaining in our seats, we can feel that through those who are offering the flowers, we are all offering our gratitude and devotion to our sister Carmela Lim. So we are coming towards the conclusion of this particular ceremony, the Seongwha ceremony. After we wrap up here, some of us will be heading over to the Stanton Fitzwarren Wonjon, our community's burial ground, not far from Swindon. I believe those who are planning to go have already made arrangements, but if there are any last-minute passengers who need a lift, please either have a word with myself or with Adja at the back there. We might have space to transport folks over to the Wonjon. So there will be another ceremony by the graveside, relatively short and simple ceremony. And those who are not going to Stanton Fitzwarren, you're very welcome to mingle here downstairs in the landing in front of the main entrance. There is actually a guest book and also a family history, right? A folder with photos and some information. So please do feel free to look through the folder with all of the family history. And please also leave a message in the guest book. I believe it's the same guest book that was used back in 2011 for Victor's Seongwha ceremony as well. So if you're staying, please do enjoy fellowship with one another. Those of us who are heading to Stanton Fitzwarren, we will have to head off fairly soon. We will need to get into our vehicles and head over. But don't rush, take your time, make sure you're ready, and we'll get there safely. It is a good few hours journey. So you might want to use the toilets here before we leave. And also, there will be some packed lunches handed out. I saw downstairs in the Chester room. A lot of effort has been made to prepare some packed lunches for those who are going to the Wonjon. If you're not going to the Wonjon, please give priority to those who are, and we'll see if there's anything left over. But I hope that's clear enough for everybody. Unhei, would you like to share a few words of appreciation? That's fine. Knowing Unhei, she is incredibly grateful. She is incredibly grateful. What's that?
There's a video.
There is of the Wonjon.
No, a video to show.
Oh, my apologies. My apologies for that. Yes, before we wrap up, there will be a video that we can watch. Adja, who prepared this video?
This was the Peruvian team.
The Peruvian team, okay.
It's an interview with Carmela.
Buenos días, queridos hermanos y hermanas. Estoy muy contenta, muy feliz. Me siento muy bendecida a tener en este momento presente el hermano señor Carlos Miranda, uno de los primeros, o del primer miembro del Perú. Y también con su hermosa hija, Yomi, que ahora vive en Noruega, en Europa. Y también otra hermana bonita, Betty, al otro lado. Betty, Argentina, pero okay. Desde junio. Yo tengo muchos recuerdos de la misión del Perú. Estoy muy agradecida a Dios por permitirme la oportunidad de servir su país, nuestro país. Perú tiene una gran parte de mi corazón y también, por supuesto, cada uno de ustedes. Agradezco por todas las experiencias, agradezco por todo su trabajo de los miembros antiguos y los nuevos, por todo el sacrificio, todos los esfuerzos y más que todo con todo corazón. damos gracias por esta oportunidad de saludarles y también espero muchas bendiciones celestiales y un feliz Navidad y un próspero nuevo año y que tenga juntos vamos a ayudar a nuestra Madre Heredera a tener una gran victoria por nuestra familia de la unificación y el movimiento en el mundo entero. Aquí en la tierra, en el mundo espiritual, vamos a realizar al reino de los cielos una familia de hermanos y hermanas centrado en nuestro Padre Celestial. Y Dios te bendiga a cada uno de ustedes. Tengo mucho amor por el Perú, tengo mucho amor por los hermanos y el pueblo del Perú. Gracias. Chao.
Wow. Thank you, our Peruvian members, and thank you, Carmela, for that message as well. That was a really lovely, sweet message, wasn't it? I want to offer a closing prayer, so I invite you to stand and join me in prayer. Our loving Heavenly Parent, it's been a pleasure to offer this Seongwha ceremony to you on behalf of Carmela Lim. Your precious daughter is returning home to you, and it's been wonderful to hear the stories of a woman of God, a woman who dedicated herself to you and to humankind through her sincere devotion in so many countries around the world, affecting so many people. Thank you, Carmela, for all that you did. And we now say goodbye to you, we say farewell, and we look forward to seeing you soon. We want to now close and offer this Seongwha ceremony, and I want to pray now in attending the Holy Mother Han. In my name, Matthew Hurish of a blessed family. Adieu. So now we will have the procession.